You met with Meg Whitman, who incidentally yesterday released, or the day before released their results. Were not welcomed by Wall Street. The stock was down 5 or 6%.
Profits were down 44%.
It's down again today. Market has lost faith in Meg Whitman. Does Meg Whitman still have faith in HP?
Yeah, she actually said she's fallen in love with HP, which is kind of understandable. I mean, HP is one of those great iconic companies. It's been around for 70 years. There's all this mythology around Hewlett-Packard and the way they managed the company and the way they built up talent, and she is clearly she's clearly enamored of it. One of the things, I mean, this is obviously not the main point of the interview, but one of the things I said to her is she's very close to Mitt Romney. She advised him on his last presidential campaign. She worked for him at Bain many years ago. She ran for Senate.
Didn't go that well.
Did not go that well, but it's California.
Right, sure.
You understand that. I said, what if he picks up the phone and calls you and says, he gets elected and says you have to serve in my cabinet? She says, absolutely no way I will do that. Because I'm committed to seeing Hewlett-Packard, see HP through the change.
She had been on the board of HP. Wait, let's go, JR. Do we have an excerpt of the interview? Okay, let's go with the interview, and then I'll come back on what she can actually do at HP, because I'm a little skeptical of what, not her, but what she can actually do.
I'm shocked.
In about 2 or 3 years, I want you to be able to say cloud, security, and information optimization. And if we are the leader in delivering those products and services, then we have a great foundation, and then we stand for 3 things that are big, very challenging problems in the industry.
Security, cloud, security, and information optimization. I mean, that's. Let me tell you something. I know a little something about management. How do you rally the troops around those kind of? Yeah, I mean, it's Steve Jobs is not rallying the folks at Apple around optimization.
No, but if you listen to Steve Ballmer these days, he talks cloud.
Yeah,
I mean, the cloud is a bit of a
amorphous
rallying cry, right? Look, she's got a real problem on her hands. I mean, right now their basic businesses are printers and PCs, and they're both lousy businesses.
But they did buy
sales are declining
under Mark Hurd. Yeah. They did buy the old EDS business, which is really what they call body shop in infotech land. I think it's not really a sexy business.
No, and some people would say it's a bit anti-cloud. I mean, she defines the cloud very broadly. She says, I can put a cloud in your server room, or we can have a public cloud that you go into. But I do think the EDS business is a bit of the old line server business, as opposed to this new vision of putting things into some sort of a big public cloud. What was interesting to me about that, she was not willing. Remember, Leo Apotheker, who was kicked out as CEO when she came in, wanted to make HP much more of a software company. She's not making that commitment. She's saying we are hardware and software. But the interesting thing about cloud and security is very focused on enterprise. Yeah. She thinks the way, I asked her who her main competitors were. She talked about IBM. She also talked a little bit about Oracle, Lenovo, a number of others. She didn't mention Apple Computer.
Right, well, it's not, in certain respects, it's not, in the sense that the PC business at HP, there's been a huge debate over quite a few years about spinning it off or selling the business.
She says that debate's over.
They had the debate. She came on board. She said, we're going to keep the business. But, most people would say that is not the future of HP. Will not be on the PC
but she believes it's a piece of the future in terms of getting into the enterprise. And that's where the security piece comes in. Her pitch to companies are going to be, you need our systems because they are secure. This BYOD, bring your own
device.
That's the word. Yeah, bring your own device to work. She believes is not going to work for most companies because of security.
Did you get into what is driving Meg Whitman here? She's a very well-off woman, very successful stint at eBay, ran for office in California. Didn't really come to much. But, she's a woman who has proven herself. She was on the board. Did she feel bad about her time on the board at HP?
Well, it was very short.
Yeah.
It was very short, but what she said, I asked her that question, and what she said was, look, at the end of the day, a board is no better than its CEO. Right. So if you don't get the CEO job right, the rest of it isn't going to work. And clearly they came to the conclusion that they got the CEO wrong. And of course, in her case, she wasn't involved in actually picking the CEO.
Right.
So
now,
she can beg off.
I think it's easy to like somebody like Meg Whitman, given that she did a pretty
very
good job.
Charming.
Very, very smart.
But I never answered your last question, and you're going on to your next question.
Yeah, that's true. Well, you were given a long roundabout answer. So get the what else?
I think she's very ambitious. Obviously, I think the idea of turning around an iconic company that is such a part of the fabric of the country and of Silicon Valley as HP really appeals to her. Yeah, now, whether she can do it,
right? Well, that was where I was going. My question before you interrupted my interruption. The reality is there are certain tech companies, maybe, I'm not saying HP does fall, but certainly Yahoo fell into this category. You could argue whether or not it's a tech company, but kind of ended up as a company where the future, no matter who was running the company, they had kind of locked themselves into a strategic cul-de-sac. Is HP in that cul-de-sac? Does it matter who's driving HP right now, whether it's Meg Whitman or somebody else?
Well, I don't know if it's a cul-de-sac, but it's certainly into a bit of a valley that's going to be very hard to get out of. I mean, how do you move away when so much of your revenues are dependent on printers and PCs? How do you move into this world?
Especially because people are using printers less. Now it's, you see, it's funny because it's,
IBM
you're in the cloud, when you're in the cloud, you don't print out pictures.
You know, we talked about IBM being her major competitor, but she isn't doing what IBM did. IBM said, focus, get the computer, get the PCs out of here. We'll sell that off to Lenovo. Let's focus on providing high-end services to enterprise. She can't do that. Well, she can do it, but it's much harder to do that when you have to worry about the printers and the PCs.
Alan Murray, excellent interview with Meg Whitman on WSJ.com. Don't forget to check it out.